Hi everyone, Evette Rose here from Metaphysical Anatomy. So today here we have a question. It seems to be about vertigo, vision, neck weakness and balance issues. And it also says here 9 years of hell. So no medical practitioner has any clue as to what is causing all my symptoms. And I'm trying to desperately to break free through the root cause, and I'm aware it has everything to do with my emotional state, but I also need guidance, and I've done shadow work on myself, but I suspect that it goes further back than my current consciousness. Any advice or help? So this is a classic example where we have an ancestral trauma and patterns and stress coming forward as a result as well of your emotional experiences in your life. Now, for example, when you look at the symptoms that you have, for example, let's say women in the past were not allowed to leave the house. They were not allowed to be powerful. They were not allowed to really speak, to do what it is that they want to do. And if they did, they would lose security, they would lose money, they would lose support from the man, which was seen as the alpha male figure, right? So normally what you'll see is for people who are in very dominant relationship dynamics, for example, the moment they start to think about leaving it, or they want to start changing something in their life that they feel completely controlled by or pressured by, but into the point where your foundation feels completely ripped out from under you. And so of course, if you want to make a change, that foundation is not going to be there anymore. But the problem is that the foundation is built on a toxic dynamic, a very, very unhealthy dynamic. However, you found your comfort and your safety in the dynamic, but now consciously you're starting to take control over the unconscious mind, and you want to start moving away and out of that, but your physical body is stopping you. And the reason why it's doing that is because of the fear, the instinctive responses inside of the body. It's like, don't do that. If you do that, then we're going to have all this XYZ bullet points of losses. Even though necessarily that might not be the case for you, I don't know. However, the body is now being triggered, the unconscious memories, and also the cellular memories as a result of the trauma transfer from your ancestors. So, of course, for example, the dizziness, it stops you from doing something that could perhaps put you straight into your power. Dizziness can stop you from taking the physical action that would help you to leave a certain situation, leave a certain dynamic. So ultimately, physically what's happening now is that you've evolved beyond the point where your circumstances are not serving you anymore, and you're consciously realizing that you are ready for change, but your body is still stuck in the past, and your coping mechanisms is still stuck in the past. So now what's happening is that it's just triggering those unconscious memories from your DNA lineage as well. This is clearly very, very strong in the DNA lineage as well. So for you, it's time to call your power back, but it's also time to do that in a very graceful way, and to start to consciously talk to yourself, start consciously realizing that I'm not going to lose anything, and even if I do, know that you are surrounded by an abundance of choices and support, because I know that you can create that. It's a matter of patience, and it's a matter of just really assessing what your circumstances are, what your situation is. And perhaps this could also be something that now that, let's say for example, you actually are out of that situation now, but now the symptoms are starting to show. This is called during the active repair phase. Now that means that it's almost like the aftershock of what you have been through is now finally starting to catch up with you, now that you're starting to calm down and you can start to feel what was really going on, now that the heightened emotions and stress is not there to cause the brain fog, as I would call it, meaning that you can now actually see things for what they are. And now the body's trying to heal something that happened a long time ago. However, this is also two aspects coming together, right? So old coping mechanisms from the DNA lineage is now coming in, and it's unfortunately in this case it's a form of sabotage, even though all that the body is really trying to do is to keep you safe. So the question that it begs you here is to look at, what in my life will change that I'm perhaps not ready to change if I could let go of the dizziness, if I had no weakness, if I had no balance issues, if I had no vertigo. So I hope that helps.